welcome back to the Pause and Proceed podcast with your host, SB.
And I'm your girl, Bridgett LaRé.
We are back.
We back.
How you doing?
You know what? How am I doing? I am doing
mm-hmm.
great. Like, it's been a great start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So many lessons have come about already.
Okay. Is 2023 treating you good thus
20
far?
2023 is treating me quite well.
Okay,
Yes,
quite well.
it is.
Okay.
I realize that I am a person that do like challenges, and I do like learning new things about myself.
Okay.
And because that's how we grow.
Mm-hmm.
We don't grow if we don't know.
Yes.
Hashtag.
Yes.
I just made that up, girl. So
you okay? Go ahead.
impressed with myself. So
mm-hmm.
I woke up. I was feeling a little like, because yesterday, I was in this training and I spoke to you all about one of the founder of the Gap community.
Yes.
Okay, so her birthday was December 18th, right?
Okay.
And in the training this weekend, on Saturday, she told us it was the worst birthday ever because told you she has breast cancer. She was going through chemo. So she couldn't taste. She didn't taste the cake and all this stuff. So I had the bright idea, right, on Sunday, yesterday, to get like cake, balloons, a card, and just celebrate her birthday, right? With the rest of the team.
Right.
And it's 2 trainers. Actually, it was 3, but it was 2 trainers whose birthdays was the one birthday is today, right? So we came out with the cake and the singing the happy birthday.
Lord.
And the trainer whose birthday was today, who's a male, he thought we was there for him. And like he was like, shut up, Char, that's not funny.
Yes, it is.
It's not funny.
Okay.
I was so but I love him so much too. And I was like,
did you know it was his birthday?
This is the kicker. He just told me the day before his birthday. He was like, yeah, my birthday tomorrow. I'll be 40. Because he was like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 40. I just turned 40 August 8th. He's like, oh, I'll be 40 tomorrow. I had the information.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. But it was like, I wanted to celebrate who I wanted to celebrate.
See,
who was a woman. So SB, I'm like, do I just not celebrate men? So that's just the thing that came about for me yesterday.
I didn't know that's where we were going.
That's where we were going.
Oh,
Is it because I really don't have, close, meaningful, in-depth relationships? Like I didn't grow up with that in my family, like having those type of men to look up to or that spoke life into me, that when it happens, I don't celebrate them for it. I don't appreciate it. Because this is someone who has given me so much.
Maybe you were just so hell-bent on celebrating the owner because of what she was going through. And maybe did it cross your mind when you were purchasing things?
Not one
See,
bit.
it didn't cross your mind. I think you was just so focused on making her feel comfortable and just kind of redo her birthday since she had an awful birthday. Because you talked about this woman before. So not saying that you don't admire your trainer, the other guy, but I think there's a connection there more so with the owner, maybe, especially because of what she's going through.
Yeah.
So don't beat up on yourself too much.
I forgave myself.
That is something to think about.
Yeah.
That is something to think about and to consider, especially because you're giving him these accolades and he has, added to your life to some degree.
For sure. Majorly.
So what happened? That's what I want to know.
So we come out singing happy birthday and then he says to me too. And that's when it clicked. I was like, oh crap, his birthday is tomorrow.
Wait, okay, so someone's birthday was
weeks ago.
Yeah. The owner was the 18th.
Yeah.
And then his birthday was yesterday.
His birthday is today.
It's today, but he thought you guys were celebrating yesterday.
He thought we were celebrating his birthday. I was like,
wow.
Gosh, like I just was so one track minded, to celebrate her that I just missed, the opportunity to celebrate both. So I'm like, where else in my life do I miss these opportunities when, especially like my purpose is to ice authenticity to encourage, celebrate, and I'm sorry, to illuminate, celebrate, and encourage authenticity in others.
Okay.
And then here I am have this beautiful opportunity to do that, and I missed that opportunity. So I'm just
I can understand the deep dive.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
can
you know,
understand
Imma
the
dive
deep
deep
dive.
about everything.
I know, child. I know. But what, like, so did you say, skirt, sorry, this is for her, not you, or you just played it off?
Well, when the cake came, I set the cake down in front of her, and it said, "Happy 60th birthday, Jean Marie." And she was like, "Oh, this says 60." She even thought it was for him.
Oh
And, like, everybody
Lord.
was confused, and I was like, "Oh my god." So I found myself immediately going to, like, the other teammates, like, "Hey, why didn't you mention that, yes, it's his birthday too? Why didn't you mention it?"
Because it was a collaborative effort.
It was. So I sent everybody, like, the group a message in the morning, like, "Hey, guys, what do y'all think about
Trying to put it
this?"
off to other people. Why
Y
didn't you
Yeah,
remind me?
yeah. And then one of the guys said, well, he was like, "Well, when you threw it out there this morning," he was like, "I just didn't think of it. We all thinking about training and da 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 da." And I'm like, "Oh God." So I felt so horrible going to sleep last night. Like I really had to like repent and just pray and just forgive myself and get that off of me. Like it was just I just felt
Yeah.
so horrible in doing that because
Oh.
I love him so much. And I'm like, what is that? How else is that showing up in my life with men? I think it has something to do with men.
Okay, so this sort of kind of reminds me of a Chris Rock joke way back in the day. He was talking about the daddy and the big piece of chicken. And just saying how, or was it it was a big piece of chicken? I don't know. Basically just saying how daddy put in all these hours and trying to support. He come home from a long day and mama get all the accolades and daddy just got like the small piece of chicken.
Oh,
And it's something like that. I'm gonna have to find
yeah.
that joke. But I think more so it kind of coincides. Maybe it triggered that thought because it's kind of like sometimes men get the lesser side of the what is it?
They
The
get the
other
short
side of
end of the
the
stick.
short end of the stick. Yeah. So
Sorry,
I
guys.
don't know. That is worth
Look at
kind of.
Solomon like, mm.
Do
You over
you
there feeling this a
agree?
little too much.
Do you agree with that, Solomon? That sometimes men get the short end of the stick?
More often than not. I think,
Yeah, I think
but
that's
but
real.
sometimes it's our nature, right? Because we take on the role of providers, and so I think a lot of times when men do things, it's taken for granted.
Mm.
And so,
Yeah.
when men have struggles, whether it's, real, financial, emotional, whatever, and they're looking for that help, people aren't used to giving it because they're not used to seeing this person in a
And hearing
position
it.
of needing help.
Of needing it.
Right, that
Right.
Whew.
vulnerability.
Yes.
That's the thing. I
That's
think
so
it's
deep.
starting and I'm starting to hear that more that conversation come
Mhm.
more and more up,
Yeah.
more I mean often well, I can't get my words together, but I'm
You
starting to
got
hear
it.
that conversation
Yeah.
more
Frequently.
there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got your
The
back,
knots.
SB.
The knots.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. The
But
men need affirmation too. They need to be affirmed in what they're doing as
exactly.
well as women. But it's just so common to affirm women and
It's
celebrate women.
mhm.
So all the men out
Mm.
there, I want to celebrate you. I want to tell you that I love you and keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for being
Start with
providers.
start with the men in
Yes.
here. How about that?
Solomon!
Solomon! King Solomon, we appreciate
I
you.
appreciate that.
Wait.
Wait, if I knew which one it was,
I know
which
Solomon.
one
We
is it?
don't. We don't.
Oh,
We
DJ.
don't. There we go. Oh, that's the DJ one?
Yeah, that's the DJ.
Okay.
Solomon, we want to appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you for putting this podcast place together and providing a
Yes.
platform for creatives that
Why,
want to get
thank
out
you.
here.
I appreciate that.
You're
I
King
welcome.
feel
Solomon.
appreciated. Thank
Good,
you.
Good,
good.
good.
Appreciation Day for King Solomon.
Yeah, we're gonna drop some appreciations to men here and there
Yeah, we have
in this
to. Because
podcast.
everyone deserves it.
Yeah,
Everyone deserves it.
yeah. Pew, pew,
Hmm.
pew, pew, to all the men. So, how are you doing, darling?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's the adjective I'm going to use
I
now.
like that. I like that.
Thank you. Thank you. I am still adjusting from the holidays. I am. I'm still processing from the holidays. But I can't complain too much. I'm tired. I've been sleeping.
Okay.
I've been sleeping. And I've been sleeping.
You need that.
It was a full moon. So when I read my little astrology thing, it said that we should be getting some rest during this time. So it coincided. Like I was getting a whole bunch of sleep. I was like, why am I so exhausted? You know what I'm saying? And I read my astrology and it did mention that during this time, try to refocus, relax, get some rest, and kind of jot down things that you're preparing yourself for, and just try to be very stressless during this time. So I'm at a peaceful point. I'm very just kind of even keel right now, which
Okay.
I can appreciate.
I like that. So you
Mm-hmm.
said
Namaste.
you're like adjusting. What is the word you just used?
I don't even know,
You said
Bridget.
you're something from the holidays.
We go ahead and run this back.
Processing.
Processing. You're processing. What
Yes.
is it that you're processing?
Oh my gosh. Life. Relationships.
Come on, SB.
Goals.
Yeah. Specifically.
Specific goals.
Specifically, what are you processing?
You better pull it out. You better pull it out
Yeah.
of me, Bridget. So what I'm specifically processing, I went home for the holidays. I saw a family that I haven't seen in a very long time.
That's Virginia, for those that
Yes,
don't know.
Virginia. Yes, North Virginia. That's where I'm from. And it just felt weird and good at the same time because I think when I came here, I kind of ran away from home. So when you run away from home, sometimes that energy still kind of stays there.
Yeah.
And I think I had to go and rectify that energy somehow. And I think I did that, which was kind of mentally exhausting, but it was good for me at the same time. Like nothing big or dramatic happened, but it was just like seeing all my family, talking to my uncle, and just I have is some things that I used to be at my uncle's house all the time when I was a kid with my dad. So I think with him
That's your dad's
passing,
brother.
my dad's brother,
Okay.
I created a version. I wasn't going over there like I should have been. So I kind of rectified that. I'm still working through that, but I rectified that because I think he could sense that energy. He was taking it personal. And we had like a little conversation. And without me saying too much, I said enough and I think he got it. Because you know how you can see somebody's wall just come down
Right.
a little
Yeah.
bit. And I think he needed that. And I did too. Oof.
So you said the energy you needed that you left there. What was
Mhm.
that energy that was left there?
I do not want to start crying on this podcast.
If we're gonna talk about it, baby, let's talk about
Yeah, I
it.
know, but I'm not ready to
It's okay.
cry
Some
on the
vinegar tissue.
podcast.
And when we're gonna talk about it, we wanted to get to like know you
I
and
know.
be in general. Like nothing changes when we're
Jesus.
general. Like the transformation is in the details. You know what I mean?
I know. I know.
Yeah.
But step by step for me,
Uh-huh.
this vulnerability train, guys, my mom wasn't a very showy person when it came to vulnerability. So I think me and my sister took that on. So it's a process.
Right. I
It's
definitely get that.
definitely a process.
Yeah.
But getting back, what was the question that you asked before?
The question was like you said when you left, you feel like you left an energy in Virginia.
Yeah, I
Like what was that
think.
energy that you left that you were running from? And then you said you feel as if you rectified that when you went back. So I wanted, you know,
I
to know
think
how did you rectify that
I
this time?
think just because I was so ready to go, like I even broke my lease a month before it was up to renew. Like I could have just stayed, but I was like, I
Wow.
got to get the H town on out of
Right
here.
now.
You know what I'm saying?
Right now. I did the same
right
thing.
now.
Yes.
You know, and I think at first I thought it was just more from a creative standpoint, like I was running away from home because I love my town, but it doesn't the access there, the opportunity there is not
Mm.
like larger cities. So I thought it was just basically like I gotta go pursue whatever, and here I don't have what I need, so I gotta go get what I need. So I
Mhm.
thought it was based um, only from a creative standpoint or a professional standpoint why I was leaving, but I was also leaving because of the trauma I think that I experienced there, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I ain't got no parents. What I'm staying here for?
Mhm.
I took off. But I mean, I do have parents. They're just not, with us in the physical sense. And I think with that mindset, how I left, I had to go back and kind of sit in that for a
Mhm.
moment, you know? Like I revisited where I used to live and just all these memories came back. Oh, I guess I'm gonna start crying.
It's
I
okay.
don't want to. I don't want to.
It's
But all these
okay.
memories came back and they felt good. Like it
Yeah.
didn't feel bad. That's the thing.
Mhm.
It didn't feel good. It didn't feel bad. It felt really good. And it was overwhelming at the same time, you
Yeah.
know. So I think I feel like I made peace, but I really need to go home and reset and make peace there.
Mm.
So, yeah, man. It was something.
It sounds deep.
Mhm.
I'm curious to know what was that peace like? Like, in what way? How did you make peace? Did you because you said you was kind of vague with your uncle. So even in that conversation, did you find
Mhm.
peace in that?
In that conversation, we were just talking like we normally talk.
Mhm.
I think the first time I went over there, I could just feel the coldness a little bit. Not necessarily, but he's going through his own stuff too. We all are. And I spoke with his son, my cousin. My cousin
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, like he wants to see me and my sister more." And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. I totally understand. And it's not just him. I'm kind of not even standoffish, but my communication sometimes with my family, I don't communicate as often as I should.
Yeah.
I don't visit as often as I should, especially when I got out here in my 30s. Big city LA.
As you could. Yeah.
Huh? I said should.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you for correcting me, Brigitte. Don't
Yeah.
should on myself,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, as I could.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, we just, I went back over there because like, okay, I'm not going to visit this one time.
Right. Yeah.
Let me go back and really sit down and have a moment in conversation. We were just talking like we normally talk, and I think there was a moment we were talking about healing. You know what I'm saying? And therapy and things. And I told him I was in therapy, and we started talking about that. And I was telling him how you go through things and sometimes people take things personal,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have anything to do
With
with
them.
them.
Yeah.
And I think I'm not sure, but I'm thinking he may have got it a little bit then. And
Mhm.
then I remember because I stayed at a hotel when I went home. I stayed in a hotel and my uncle does have space.
Yeah.
And they said, like, my aunt was like, "Why ain't you stay here?" And I was like, "Cause I wanted to stay in a hotel." And then when I left, he had mentioned it too. And I was like, "Y'all, I'm still going through things.
Yeah.
I'm still going through things when it comes to my dad and, da 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 da." And I think they got it. I think they got it.
Mm.
So that felt nice.
Yeah. So I'm listening to you speak,
Thank you,
and
Solomon.
I know one of the things that I can do is make a lot of assumptions. It's like, oh, I put it out there that this is what it is. So I think they got it. And then expect for them to know how I'm feeling.
I think that was the first step.
Mhm.
I didn't want to go too much and
Yeah.
I couldn't.
It's difficult to have these difficult
Yeah.
conversations,
It is. It is.
but maybe they need to be had.
I think, and I don't want to assume, but I was judging from
Mhm.
the energy shift. So we'll get there, but it takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes time. But these are happy tears, guys. By the way, can't believe I'm crying up here. I really didn't want to do this. I knew it was gonna happen eventually, but I
Yeah.
didn't want to do
This is
this.
transformation, man. Like,
Ugh.
this is what we're here for, to create community, and the way to do that is to open up and be vulnerable. So
I know. I know why we
appreciate you for
created this freaking podcast. I'm aware. Creating
this is
community and shit.
look, who said that?
I know it was
Okay.
me.
All right.
I know this is authenticity at its finest
This
right
is what
now, I
you wanted,
guess.
SB.
Oh my God.
So all of that's provision.
Yes, it is. It is. But you know
Yeah.
what? You're right. Like I don't want to assume, but I was just going, I was toeing a
Yeah.
little and just
Mhm.
kind of feeling the water. And it felt good talking to my uncle and just sitting down and having that conversation. So us even talking about therapy, you know what I mean? And me even telling them like, y'all, I gotta get over some things. Just
Yeah.
don't take it personal. That was a lot to say. So step by step.
Yeah,
Step by
definitely.
step.
And one of the things I realize is a lot of times we want to change a behavior.
Mhm.
It's like I want to change the way I show up with my family. I want to change the fact that
Yeah.
when I go there, that I want to change the fact that I don't go visit as often as I could.
Mhm.
However, the thing to change is the belief behind it.
The
With the
mindset.
mindset. What is the belief system?
Right.
You know, what down to the root of it. Why am I not going back?
Mhm. And
And
that's what I
handling
had
that.
to ask myself
Hmm.
because it was nothing like I love my family. It was nothing personal,
Yeah.
but I knew sometimes when I come in town, I'm more I'm at my mom's side of the family's house more so
Right.
than my dad's side. So my uncle house specifically, that's what we have holiday dinners and we do everything at my uncle house, cookouts, blah 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 blah
Yeah.
blah. I was growing up, I was always there. Me and my cousin, me and my dad, and him, we was always there. So I specifically noticed the energy when I was like, okay, I need to go over there, and I felt the energy of not wanting to. And I was like, we
Hmm.
got to get to the bottom of
Yeah.
this. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And I noticed that. And I just started thinking, and it came to me. I was like, you still dealing with that. And that place reminds you of those times. My
Okay.
uncle's
So
house
these remind
reminds
you of the
me
good
of the
times.
good times with my dad and blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
Because I didn't, ugh.
So it's a way in which you're relating to it. It sounds like a
I
beautiful
didn't
thing.
mourn for my dad
Mm.
because, like when he did pass away, I remember I was about to start crying, and my grandmother was there. My grandmother, I love my grandmother to death. And she's a strong black woman
Your
though.
mom's
You know what
dad.
I'm saying?
Your dad's dad.
My
Your
dad's
dad's mom. I'm
mom.
sorry.
She's a strong woman. Rest in peace. And I remember my uncle, that uncle that I'm talking about, he was there too. And I leaned into him and I was about to start crying. And she was like, y'all gotta be strong.
Mm.
Don't be strong for me. Y'all gotta be strong. And right then and there, tears went away.
Mm.
I don't think I'm after that. Mm-mm. So it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Just learning that it's okay to be vulnerable and to
I
mourn
can't
and to
stand
grieve and
crying.
let the tears flow. Yeah.
I like to cry in private.
Yes, I get that. Me too. Hashtag.
Hashtag cry private. But
Yeah.
yeah, but gotta come out, man. The tears help cleanse
Mhm.
the soul. That's
Yes.
what I believe. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? And if I gotta cleanse my soul here on this
Yeah.
podcast by crying, then so effing be it.
And this is us standing with you, so you don't have to do it alone. When things are
Yeah.
exposed, I think that's when we get healing from it. Us
I was
just
up here
crying in
looking
private.
cute.
You still looking cute.
Am I?
Us just crying, like, just doing things on our own in private, like,
I know. In the
man,
shadows.
man, I've been doing it for a long, 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 long time. I'm
Yeah.
40, and
Yeah.
this is the year. You see the 82, 40, baby.
Yes, come on, 82.
But this is the year that I am learning to come out of the wilderness
Yeah.
by myself and to allow others in and to lean on other people so that they can support me in the things that I'm going through,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
growing through.
Growing through.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm happy to be here with you
Well,
as
thank
as
you.
you grow
Pulling
through
pulling
this.
all this shit out of me.
Yeah, listen, because it's in me as well. Like, it's in
I
me.
know.
It's
It's
in
yeah,
me.
yeah, I know.
So I went home for the holidays as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was there for 2 weeks, 2 whole weeks.
Yeah. 2 weeks is a long
It was
time
a long
to be home. I was there 2 weeks too. We both were. Yeah.
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 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I stayed with my mom. I went initially because she broke her ankle,
Mhm.
and she was really vulnerable and open in a way that I've never experienced her before.
That's
When I
good.
talked to her on the phone, she was just like, she felt like she didn't have anybody there to help her, like she was getting on other people's nerves. And so I was like, it's nothing but a flight. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
But that was God wanting me to be there, needing me
Mhm.
to be there with her. It's all provision.
Provision.
And it was a purpose behind it all.
There we go.
Hey! This
Love
is
it.
provision is Shara SB's word of the year.
Yes.
Mine is purpose. So
Yes.
we'll incorporate that in the podcast all
Yeah,
year
we
long.
have to. We
Yeah,
have to because I think those are very significant terms
very much so.
that packs a lot of power that we both need to be practicing. Because I'm practicing purpose as
Yeah.
well. You know
And
what I'm
yes,
saying?
definitely.
So absolutely.
And they all start with P.
Come
Provision,
on,
purpose,
pause and proceed.
powerful. Pause,
Come
proceed,
on,
podcast.
PPP, pew
Hey.
pew, pew pew pew. Okay.
So I was there in Dayton, Ohio for
Okay.
2 weeks. And it was beautiful just to sit and just be present with my mom, another
Mhm.
P, present.
There we go.
And I realized this was the first time ever that I just sat with her without judgment.
Ooh, yeah. Especially with our parents.
Man,
Yeah, especially with our parents.
I was just there, and I don't say much a lot in life. I just really don't. Like I know it's hard to believe, but a lot of
What
times I
do you mean
don't.
you don't say much in life?
I
You mean with your family? Because you say a
maybe,
lot.
maybe,
Maybe
maybe
with your
I do a
fam.
lot of listening and
Yeah,
being present for them instead of
I can
saying
see
much.
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I like for them to let me know what's going on with their life, and tell me what's going on with you, because I really do feel like I live out loud. And a lot of times I like to create a space for other people to share
Mhm.
what they have going on.
Yeah.
So
That's that inner coach in you and that,
it
you
could
know,
definitely be that.
the
It could,
nurse, the nurturer,
yeah,
all of that.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it was just the first time I sat and I was just watching her and you seeing how she moved around and seeing if she will be good once I leave, watching her move around.
Mhm.
And I just was like, dang, I like my mom. Like, she's pretty cool.
Oh, I love
Yeah, instead of looking at
that.
her like, well, she didn't do this and didn't do that. She used to whoop me and da da da. It's just all this backstory that
Yeah.
I've been holding on to, and that's been holding me back from actually having a close relationship with her.
Mhm.
I was just realizing it was just so much was just coming up. And she actually joined the 21-day meditation challenge.
She
She's
did?
in
Yay!
it.
Hi,
I
mom.
know. And so she posts every day. She's doing the meditations. And I'm just like, wow, I just didn't expect that from her.
Wow.
But it's just a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to get rid of those judgments. And I've been asking God, like, how do you know when you've forgiven someone? How
Mm.
do you know? And I think
Mhm.
I got the answer by
Yeah.
going home. It's like when you can sit with them without judgment
Right, and not take it personal.
and just love on them for being them.
Yeah.
But
Unconditional love.
unconditional,
Unconditional love.
unconditional. And I said
Yeah.
all this to say, like, I was there for 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and I didn't go see my father, and he's right there. And I made the excuse like, well, I called him and I was texting him and I tried.
Did he respond?
And no, he will respond like, hey, happy new year, or merry
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is, or was, it's like he chose this. He chose to not, have a relationship, with me and my siblings. And I was just in so much judgment around him that this just came about yesterday. The whole thing with the men and not celebrating, the- you know,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
not celebrating the other trainer.
Right.
And I realized, like, gosh, I've been still sitting in a lot of judgment about my dad, to the point to where, yes, he has a close relationship with alcohol. He has all my life.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of judgment towards him because of that. Like, oh, I
Right.
feel like he chose alcohol over his children and over just living. But that's his story. That's what he has to deal with.
Mhm.
And I just found it in my heart just yesterday. So I called him like, hey, I was in town for 2 weeks, didn't see you the whole time. And I found myself about to blame him.
Right.
And then I was like, but you know what? I want to take responsibility because I could have just showed up at your place and, let you know I'm
Right.
outside. Hey, come out. Let's go do dinner or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, yeah, I wouldn't have mind. And I told him, I said, well, I want to be close to you. I want to get to know you. And in my dad's fashion, he was like, well, you didn't even ask me if I was busy. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like,
All right.
here I am
Yeah.
spilling my heart to you. And but then I still found delight in that. I'm like, this is who he
This is
is.
who he
You
is.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just gonna love him for who he is.
Because the thing is, I think sometimes yes, we are the children, but we are adults right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? We're
Yes.
not 10-year-old, 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
We are
Mhm.
adults and we can take initiative to certain things, but there's a healing that has to come in place.
Yeah.
There's definitely a healing.
Yeah.
So I totally understand that. That
Yeah.
judgment thing, especially when it comes to your parents, it
Yeah.
goes back to the child. Like, you didn't do this, and I'm like this because you da 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 da. It
Mhm.
comes a time and a place. You may be right, but a lot of times it's not about right and wrong. It's gonna come a
Yeah.
time and a place in your life where you have to take responsibility for whatever it is that has happened or is happening currently in your adult life.
Yeah.
And you have to make a decision if you're ready to forgive so you can get that stuff off of you.
Get it
Because
off.
it's energy. It's bad juju.
Yeah.
It's bad juju. And you can't be 50 years old still blaming your parents
No.
about how they treated you. Like, what have you done
Yeah.
to try to heal and get away from that? And I totally understand sometimes people don't have the tools. Better pray about it.
Find them.
Find them.
Find
Find
them.
them. If you listen, if
Do
you
your
seek, you
job.
will find. For real.
Yeah. And as far as tools go, like I want to give everybody a tool. I do this a lot
Mhm.
because I really do believe the work that the Gap community is doing is kingdom work.
You love the
I
Gap
love the Gap. It's
community.
so I'm telling you, it helped me with a lot. A lot of the
Yeah.
stuff you hear me talking about,
Mhm.
I've gotten these tools from the Gap community, and
Well,
so they're having a training called Reveal, and you can go to
is that what you sent me?
gapcommunity.com. Reveal, yes, and it's
Yay.
3 days of introspective work. It's helping you see yourself, see the habits that you've created over the years,
Yeah.
and just like really getting rid of them. It's a great tool to have.
I think people subconsciously, because I believe in energy, in the
Yeah.
force of energy. And I think subconsciously, some people, I'm not going to say they like, but they hold on to those grudges because that's all they know.
It's a story. It's a story. I get that. I've held on to it for 40 years. I held on to so
Yeah.
much because
Yeah.
it's the story. It's the story, and it's kind of I don't want to say kind of it was scary for me to get rid of the story because I'm like, if I get rid of this story, who am I?
That part. It's like an attachment.
Exactly.
It's just it becomes a part of you.
Yeah.
And it's something that you actually have to
Yeah.
mourn away.
Yeah.
And people don't look at mourning or grieving in those
Hmm.
concepts, but that's something that you have to mourn because you've been carrying this
For so long.
for so long. It's a part of you, but
Yeah.
you gotta put that by the wayside.
So I want to ask you,
Yes.
as we talking about stories and the stuff that we tell ourselves.
Hmm.
It sound like you've been carrying, correct me if I'm wrong, the
Yes.
story um, that you didn't forgive, that you didn't mourn your father when he passed. And it's like, are you holding that against yourself? So when you are around your
Hmm.
family, your father's family, is there guilt in there because you still feel like, oh, I haven't mourned my dad? So
You
thinking of the
know,
good times make you sad.
I you know what? I'm not 100%. I would have to think about that. I think for me, it's not a guilt. It was more so I didn't really realize it. I thought I was upset too when my mom passed away.
Hmm.
And I think after my mom passed away second, I get it confused sometimes. My mom passed away and I went to a family function one time and one of my dad's cousins had came up to me and was like, "How your mama doing?"
Mm.
And it bothered. the crap out of me.
'Cause
Like, I
they
went
didn't know.
upstairs because she didn't know, and I felt like, how did she not know? And granted, my mom wasn't around my dad's side at that point because they weren't together, but how you not know that? So I took that personal. So with the dad stuff,
Mhm.
I added that onto that packages. I threw that into my backpack.
Yeah.
And then I think an aversion to go over there was created because I think I felt some type of way about that on
Mm.
top of the heaviness that was already there from just being just having a hard time being around the environment because I'm always there with my dad.
Yeah.
So
I
it
get that.
was a lot.
Are
Yeah.
you or have you
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say have you because just listening to you speak, it doesn't seem like you have.
Mhm.
Are you willing to forgive
I
that?
forgave. I don't even think about that other part
Mm.
anymore because I think I was just hurt. It was fresh. I was just hurt at that time.
Well, you said that created the aversion to go over there, and it's
That
still
was on
there.
top
Mm.
of the dad stuff.
Mhm.
So the part regarding my great cousin coming up to me and asking about my mom, I don't hold that against
Mhm.
my family because I don't know how often she was over there. Like I don't take that personal
Yeah.
anymore. I got over that part because I really feel like it was because I was hurt. But my grieving with my dad, I don't even know. I'm still working. I'm still working on that. Yeah, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Yeah. Well, I would like to invite you to the Reveal seminar in March
Oh Lord.
coming up.
What did you send me? You sent me something
Also,
for
what I sent you coming up January
yeah.
18th.
Mhm.
Oh, that's something different. That is a it is a team of trainers who are
Okay.
putting on a training,
Okay.
just like what I'm going through.
Mhm.
So I'll be doing my training in March because
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So I'm training to be a trainer.
So basically, we'll be the guinea pigs.
Exactly. Exactly. We're
I
gonna work our
don't mind being a
stuff out
guinea.
on a couple of people that's it's a private event, people
Mhm.
that we invite.
Okay.
And it's some trainers they're graduating this month. Yeah. So they're
Yay.
inviting people to come out so that they can train.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. I may be game for
You
that.
game for
If I don't
it?
have to
Yeah.
work, I'm definitely
Yeah.
game for that.
I can't
Cause
invite them to this, but
no, sorry
but I
guys.
can invite you to the Reveal seminar in March. You can go to gapcommunity.com.
I didn't expect for this podcast to be like this
You
today.
know what? When you open up, when
Oh
you
my
take one step, God take 1,000. You wanted to go there, God said, let's go there because there's some things that still need to be cleared up.
God. Indeed,
Yeah,
apparently.
for you and for me.
Huh?
I said for you and for me.
Oh,
A lot of
absolutely.
realization and revelation in this podcast today.
I told you, listen, this podcast is our therapy. And we have said on this journey, we hope that with our experiences and us being vulnerable, that will influence the community as well, because we're all in this together. So I have to keep telling myself that we're all in this together. It's okay to heal during the podcast and shed a few tears. So yeah, man.
Loved your tears.
Thanks.
You
Thanks, I
so
guess.
cute when you cry. Some people got that.
Am
I'm ugly
I?
when I cry. Like I'd be like,
I
I'll be
mean,
feeling all
that, but that
like,
was just the
no.
tear drippage cry.
Yeah,
That wasn't. I ain't get.
you
I
didn't
ain't
get
get
the
to that
ugly.
part.
Yeah,
When your shoulders start moving.
mhm,
No, I didn't.
yeah.
It's pretty
He was
ugly.
cognizant. Like, let me do the cute cry.
Yeah.
You were?
The crowd, you try to hold it in, but the tears just gonna come out. So
Yeah.
you gotta let it loose a little bit.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But it was real. It was genuine. It was authentic.
It was
And
authentic.
yeah, it was
Exactly.
needed. So
Okay.
yeah,
All right. Ready to shut it down?
shut it down,
All right.
Charlie Brown.
You shut it down, Tyler Brown. You're good
Let's
at
shut it
shutting it
down.
down.
All right, let's shut it down.
Let's shut it down.
You so silly. All right, so again,
Yes.
remember
Mm-hmm.
to don't assume things. If you have something to say to somebody, say it. Because
This
for
is
me, I'm the
true.
type of person you got to tell me straight up. I don't get that. You're talking to me when you tell me a story, so I get that.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got something to say to somebody, say it. Be specific. Get it out there. Have the uncomfortable conversations that need to be had.
Amen.
And if you need any skills and tools on how to be with others and to recognize your habits and your belief system, go to gapcommunity.com. Check out the Reveal seminar. And also follow Pause and Proceed podcast
Yes.
on Instagram, Facebook, all the social media platforms. Like, subscribe, share with a friend.
Pew, 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 pew.
And we'll see you next time on Pause and Proceed.
We are out. Vulnerability, my God.
Hey.
Jeez, oh